18-year-old Dale Barnstable was gifted athletically and scholastically. Like so many others at the time, he was told to put his bright future on hold. A draft notice upon graduation meant he would soon be thrust into World War II. After extensive training, Barnstable in the 71st Infantry Division spent 3 weeks crossing the Atlantic, avoiding German submarines and battling prolonged seasickness. The young soldier's innocence and inexperience was quickly revealed upon landing in France.
It was almost dark, and the guy said, "You two get in that foxhole." So the other guy and I looked at each other and we jumped in the foxhole. I said, whatever his name was, I said, "Excuse me, which way is the enemy?" He said, "I don't know either. You look this way and I'll look that way." I said, "Okay."
Barnstable went on to fight in the Battle of Bitch and eventually moved east, nearly 850 miles to Austria. He described the Germans as a fearless group who traveled at night and hid in the woods during daylight hours.
The Germans were drafting kids 10 years old and up to 80-year-old because they were running out of men, running out of people. And it was kind of sad to see a 10-year-old carrying a weapon out there.
Barnstable was in charge of a 60mm mortar squad. It was dangerous and exhausting work.
And we'd fire those things like crazy. And the big thing you had to do was to make sure when you let it go into the tube, you took your arm away, otherwise your arm went out the tube too.
The 71st met the Russians to finish the fight against the Germans. The news of the war ending took days to get to Barnstable and his comrades.
We saw people cheering and hollering and waving and flowers and all that. And I said to one of the guys, I said, "There's something going on that's good." He said, "I don't know what it is either. We did not know the war had ended."
The excitement of the war ending lingered on, but for Barnstable and many others, the work wasn't over. Liberating a concentration camp was next on the list. Decades later, it's still too difficult to discuss.
And it was horrible. There's no way I can even explain it.
Barnstable eventually made peace with what he and others were asked to do. Once he received orders to head home, college became his priority. A chance meeting led him to UK, where then head coach Adolf Rupp invited him in for a tryout.
His office was 6'1", and I was 6'3". So when you went in, you did that, and he noticed that. That way he could tell how tall you were. And he said, "Let me see your hands." So I put my hands out there. He said, "Okay, we'd like for you to come to the University of Kentucky."
Barnstable's storied career spanned 4 years with the team, winning 127 games, losing only 13. His impressive on-court experience, combined with his time in World War II, left him grateful and humbled. To this day, he still thinks of his time overseas, and in bittersweet memories, he remembers those he fought with.
And it's nice to be able to be recognized today as trying to help the country at that time, and to help all of those associated with trying to preserve liberty. And we've had a number of people that have done that through the years, and so the World War II was an example of that. I guess you know that the World War II veterans are dying at the rate of 1,000 a day, and there won't be many pretty soon.